Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another HTML template giveaway. So I'll be giving away this anime homepage. You can use this for a movie website where people can download their movies, but this is just the homepage. So to edit anything on this template, you can just click Edit Templates. Once you click on the link to the template itself, you can see a demo preview here of how it actually looks like, or you can just simply download it, or you can edit. Then while editing, after you change a few things, you can click download on the edit page. So let me give you a slight preview of how it looks like. So we're going to design it using this software here. The link is in the description. So we're going to go to File Preview. I just want to show you that it's actually responsive. So let's go here. So as you can see, it's mildly responsive, not too much, but good enough. So you can edit whatever you want here, make it more responsive, of course, by adding media queries and stuff. And yeah, down here there's a segment on this side that once squeezed off, it moves on to the other side like so. So it's quite responsive here. Let's go down here. Here we go. So the segments go down here that were on the side. They're finally at the end here. There they are. All right. So check it out, download, it's free of charge, and yeah, leave the video a thumbs up and subscribe. All right, so let's get started and create this from scratch. So there's a link in the description to the application if you want to see how this was created. We can go ahead. So what I really want is the color here. Let me just inspect the element. I want to get a few colors. I don't like the RGB format, but I guess that's fine. We can use that too. Let me just copy that. Just this red color. So I want us to create this, the top menu here. So it's got a black color. And so let me go here. I'm gonna go to add elements, and in here I want to add an empty div like this one. So select it, make sure if you don't see properties, just click there. Once an item is selected, the properties panel should pop up. Let me click that X to remove the width of this so that it goes all the way, because that's the default for divs. And inside this, I want to add another item. So I'm gonna go to the height and remove the height as well, so it collapses. But it's got some padding in there, that's why it doesn't collapse entirely. So let's go to grids and let me load this one here. So this is just two divs within a div, and the display is flex. That's why they are on either side here. So what I'm trying to do is, let me click on this, go to the height, remove any height params there, and I'm going to add element, components, add an image for our logo. Then I'm going to add again h1 tag for the text, right? And then we can now use that color because that's a text color. Let me just paste in there. So we have that color over there. Then I'll go to display for this and display flex. So they are left to right like this. Then I'll go on the other one here. It's got a minimum height limit, so I'm gonna close that off. I'll click on this and click and drag to reduce it until I see that it doesn't move with the thing anymore. I could give it a very specific height, maybe 60 pixels. Then select this one. Now let's remove the margin. This h1 tag comes with margin, so let's put a 0 as margin. I'll select the big div that contains both of these. Since it has display flex, we can use the align item here. Align items center. Okay, then we can type our text, anime, like so. So select this guy, remove its background color by clicking that X, like so. Great. Now the background color of the whole thing here should be black. So I'm going to select the black color like that. So there are two sections here. I'm going to duplicate this second part. I'll go edit, duplicate, so that there are 3 of these now. And select the middle one. I want to change how much flex it has. So there's a flex of 1 if we go down to the actual styles. So you can always edit these styles down here. Just don't forget the semicolons between styles. Now I'm going to put 2 there so that this one is twice as big as the other guys. So that's fine. And then I'm going to remove its background color as well. And then I'll go here as well and remove the background color of that. I'll try to add some elements in here because we need some icons in there. So I'll just add 1 icon in there, select it. That's not the icon we need, doesn't matter. Margin left, I'll put maybe 10, margin right 10. We change this icon into, by clicking here on the image section, there's icon there. Let's change that into a search icon. And then I'm going to do edit, duplicate. Let's change the duplicated one to a user icon. There we go. So I'm going to change the font size to change their sizes. I'll put maybe 25 font size and this one as well 25. Then I'll move this up so it goes this way instead. The other one stays the other way. Select the main component. I'm going to go to components, add some div text, and here I'm just going to say hi user. All right. Then select the main thing again, and we'll add an element. This time we're adding an input. Let me add those inputs. Now this input comes with this extra stuff, which I don't need. So select the input itself and cut the element. Select this container, delete. Select the main container here, right click and paste element. And there we have our element there. So what I want to do is go to the border here, add a solid border of white. I'll just add that by just selecting a white color. And then the background of this, I will make sure is black. And then I'll make sure the color is white so we can actually see the text in there. Then I'll go to the width. It's 100%, but I'll limit it to maybe 120 pixels by putting a max width. Let's go to border radius and put it at 30 pixels. That way it's round-ish like that. So select this guy, move it up, again up, so it's right next to the icon there. So you can redesign what you want. Now I want all these on one line. So what I'll do is go to display, and we're going to say flex, of course. And then let's go align items center, which is better now. Great, looking good. Now we should be able to allow things to wrap around if they need to. Also, let's justify the center here, left to right. Also, let's put no wrap and wrap back like so. I was just doing that to make a change. So go to another value that I don't really intend to use, then go back to the actual one that was already showing there, even though it doesn't really work. I ought to change these. Okay, so we select this part. I want us to create this menu over here. It's even got some hover effects here, but let's try this one over there. So to select this, I'll say add element, and I'll go ahead and let's go to the components. So components, let's add some div text. So it's just a div with text, right? Let me type home. Then let's edit it. So first of all, select the parent of this and use display flex as well. And then I don't want to justify anything. So select the actual thing. You see now it has moved to this corner. I want to add a background color of this red. So once I select this box that has that color, I can copy the color, put it on the background instead, paste in there like so. Now while that's selected, I will grab, let's add some padding, right? There's 5 pixel padding all the way around, but, or maybe let's just go to width and put a minimum width of maybe 100 pixels. Yeah, then let's go to font, change that to Tahoma. Let's put it on bold. Let me change I think the font size should be 14. Now, if you see do that, then it means it's using M's, so just make sure you click again on pixel. If it doesn't work, click back on M, then back to pixel. All right, then let's go ahead and change the display here to flex so we can center the text. So display flex, then justify center, align center. Okay, that looks more like a button now. So with that in mind, I can select this and say edit, duplicate. So I will duplicate that guy. Now this one, I don't want it to be like this. So I'll change its actual color to black. And the background color, just remove that. Well, actually the color should be white so we can actually see something. So categories, about us. So let's type categories here, capital C, I bet. So you can always change the minimum width. Why is it 102? Should be 120. Same as this one, 120. So the way this thing works when exporting is that whatever items of the same exact styles will have the same class. They'll be given the same CSS class. So select the image there as well. Click on image, click there. Now I want to go to logos and select this company logo over here. That's done. And what else? I want a hover effect on this. The cursor should change to a pointer. That's number one. Let's do that on that one as well. But I want a hover effect. So the way we add one is by selecting this set hover effect. So whatever I'm doing now is a hover effect CSS once I do that. So it's not selected. First of all, let me reduce the color so it's a bit weaker, BA, and then I'll set hover styles and put a white color instead and remove that. That way when I hover on it, that's what it seems like. Okay, so from there I can simply now edit, duplicate. Okay, so let's see what we got. About us, blog, contact. So I'm gonna go about us, our blog, contact. Very good. So we have all this. Now if you want to leave the boundary here, you can, but if I select the outer layer, I can always just remove the padding to squeeze everything in like so. All right, so let's do a save now. This is gonna be anime homepage tutorial and save. That way now when you try to open, there's a visual of it there. Okay, great. So now we need to put the remaining parts. So we start with the hero section here, which has two buttons with a design there. So let's do that part. So the first thing I want to do is make sure nothing is selected. You can do that by going to view, clear selection, then add an element, empty background. So this has a width. I'm not sure what the color is here, so I'm going to inspect this one just to grab that background color. That way it's similar. So the background color is, oh, by the way, these colors, like this one, this is E5, the red one, E53637. And this one I've just added is 0B, 0C to A. Okay, so once we have this, we can then add a secondary thing that will cover the inside like so, with a limited width. So add another one, another empty background within that. So select, make sure I click on this that I've added now. Give it a maximum width it can go of 1200 pixels. And then go to margin and select the margin auto. That way it's on the center like this. Then I can obviously remove its background color. Now there's just a skeleton of it. In here I want another empty div. So I'm just going to add an empty div. Let me remove its width so it goes all the way. I'll give it a very specific height, maybe 550 pixels, like that. All right. So this one is the one that will have the background image. So you can change the color, background color of this to suit your needs, just in case the image doesn't show. But let's go over here and add an image. So, instead of image, this is going to be background image. So I'm going to go to anime at the top here. Very convenient here. And then I will select my samurai image right there. And there it is. Okay, now within this, I want to create a div so I can put some text within this container. All right. Also, I want to darken this because if I put text on top, it's not going to be very clear until I darken it. So I want one other div inside here that covers the whole thing. So select that, put an empty div, select it, go to width, remove, go to height, make 100%. And then I can now give it a background color of black and then use the transparency to adjust that so that it suits my text color and stuff. Now, as you can see, the outer div has a padding of some kind, the one that we have, the one that has a background image. So we can go to the padding and remove it. But for convenience right now, I'm going to leave it so it's easy to select the outer div. Now this inner div we've created, I want to put 3 boxes in there. So empty div. Let me change the colors of these divs, make them lighter so it's easier to see. And then I'm just gonna go edit, duplicate, duplicate. So I've duplicated 3 of these, select the parent. Let's position them better. So I'm gonna go display flex. That way they move like this, but I want them to leave all this space because the space is on this side only. I want to tell it that put the space between them. So it shares the space between them like so, which is great. Then this one, I want to go all the way. So I'm going to go with remove, say 100% like that. So this one goes all the way like that. And then we have this and we have that. Okay, cool so far. This will have text in here. So let me go to the height 100% as well, which is great. So we have that, this, and that. But then let me select the parent of this and change the justification here. So we already have space between, but align items should also be center. So these guys can come down here. Okay, so what we're trying to do is put these clickers over here so we can click left and right to navigate around here. So select this. I want to move it outward a bit and rotate it. So let me go to the width and height. I will make it 80 pixels and 80 height, like so. And then I will proceed to use, let me change its background just temporarily so you can see what's going on. And I go to the transform section. I want to rotate it. So there's a rotation here. Let's try 45 degrees. That looks about right. And then let's go ahead and use the margin to move it outward a bit. So I'm going to go to margin. Let me try margin left minus 45, since minus 40 actually, since this is 80. Didn't go all the way. So let's try minus, I think minus 40 is fine. It's going to change once we remove the padding on the outside here, on the outside container. So I'll leave it like that. Let me do the same here. Let me put margin right minus 45, minus 40 actually. Then I'm gonna go height 80, width 80. And then let's go to the transform now. So transform. And let's do rotate 45 degrees. I'm not sure which side we're supposed to be rotating, but maybe minus 45, but I'll leave it like that. It's okay. So now if I select this, I can now finally add an icon in there. I can add any icon, it doesn't matter. This one as well, same thing. Add icon. Let me change the background color just so the icon is more visible. I'll go here and change the icon. So select the icon, click image, change the icon. So this icon is called Chev something. The arrows, that's what they are called. I'll try this one because that looks like the direction I need. Select that. I'll try another Chev. Select that one. So if I now select the item itself, this, I can go to display. Just so I center the icon, I can say flex, then put center here and center there. Same thing here, display flex, center this, center that. Now I just need to rotate the actual icon. So I'm going to go on the transform. Since I rotate the other one negative 45, I will rotate this one 45. Looks like it doesn't work. Let's try a negative. That worked. Let me select this one, rotate 45 degrees. Apparently not. Let's put a negative. Okay, that's when it works, I guess. Now I want to put this background here there so that this disappears into it. So select that background color, select that and add it there. Same thing here, add that background color there. Then I'll select the parent that has that background color, remove the padding. So click to remove, that way everything squeezes up. This still didn't go to my corner, but I think that is okay. Or is it? Yeah, I think that's okay. Then I'll select this one that's inside, remove its background color. That way we can see what's going on in the back. Unless we have this V-shaped arrow, I'll select these actual boxes. You could put a border, something I didn't do in the other one. So just select the white color in there, like so, if you want to be able to see them. And you can reduce that to make it closer to a darker color, like that. So that's 636363. I'll select this one and paste that similar color there. And then while that is selected, let's change the cursors to pointers. That way somebody knows it's clickable. Alrighty then. Alright, so far so good. Let me save this. Great. Now let's add some text in here, right? So if I go back to this, there's this text here. This action series, summary, some extra text here, and then this nice button over here. So I want all this to happen. So here I'll put, what do I do here? So select this guy, add an empty div. So let's go to empty again, empty div. There it is. Let me increase the contrasty thingy so we can see them. So make sure you select the container you want to put in there, which is the outer container here, and add. I want to add an h1 tag. Again, add the div text, then add, actually just need to duplicate this one, so duplicate. This one will contain the button. This will just be that random text. I can use lorem ipsum here. Don't copy the text with formatting here, just copy the one without. And if the text is giving you trouble in pasting, you could open Notepad, because this text comes with formatting. So you can paste it here, then copy it from there, because that removes all the formatting, and then you can paste it in here, like so. Okay, then here, let me write the title, which is Samurai Warrior. Now let's change our font type. First of all, let's change to Tahoma. What did we use here? Impact Tahoma, actually. So Tahoma. Let me increase the font to maybe 40 pixels, like that. Yes. And that does it, actually. The margin is too huge, so let me put a 0 margin on that. But I'll put a 10 top and bottom margin, and this one margin top, maybe 20 top bottom. Yes, this, I just wanna do that and do this. Oops. Within there, I want to add div text. I want the color of this to be this red. So select that and copy it. Select the text box, red color. I'll just type here action series. Is that what I, yep. Let me make sure the font is Tahoma. Or was it? So if you regret your decision, just click the X there. Maybe it just needs to be bold. What else? In here as well, I want this to have that background color, the reddish. So I'll put, no, actually not. I'll select that and put another div inside. So there we go. And that's the thing that will have that background color. Then of course I will edit, duplicate it. So there are two of them. Select this guy, go to display, and of course add flex there. So display, flex. Oh, it says none. Should have clicked flex. And now there are two of them side by side. So we're gonna do space between. And of course we're gonna remove all the padding. And yep, I will select the main thing and adjust the height. Now these guys have a fixed height, so I will just remove that fixed height from them. Then this one, I want to have a flex of 1 so that it goes all the way, takes up the full space required. So flex is here. Let me just retype 1 and it goes all the way, but I need a gap between the two. So I'll give it a margin on the right side of maybe 10 pixels or something. This one, I want to give it a specific width, maybe 50 pixels, something like so. So we have this kind of thing. Then I'll select its main parent, the one with a white background, and remove that background there. So there are two like this, which is great. Now I can add some text in there. So div text in components, and over here I can add an icon. So all I need is just copy this icon over there. So I'm just gonna do copy element in there, right click and paste, and that's about it. So select this guy now, change its display to flex, that way I can center everything. Justify center, align items center. If I select it, it's got a rotation. I can remove that. In fact, I can just say remove all transform, by clicking here, boom. Then I go to this one as well. Let me do the same, display, flex, justify, center, align, center. Then here I will just say watch now. But I'll select this guy. Let's go to text transform. Text transform uppercase. Then I would go to the font, change it to Tahoma, and I can change the letter spacing to maybe 4 pixels, like that, make it look nicer. Increase the font size, maybe 16, and it's looking much better. Also, I could put that in bold, like that. Very cool. Now all this text is up above here, but I want it down here. So I'm going to select the parent, and I'm going to leverage Flexbox again by going display, flex. Now flex automatically moves things, creates columns like this or rows. So let's change the flow from row to column. That happens. And then we change the justification of content to flex end, which is at the bottom there. So there we go. So looking at that, this I want to give it a max width so the text doesn't go all the way. So say max width 400 pixels. I think that would do, maybe 500 for now. So if this darkness is not enough, you can always select this, then say edit, select the parent of that, which is the container, and then click on the transparency. Now it's not really showing the actual color, I don't know, for some reason. So you can always adjust it to your liking. Let's obviously save here. Okay, so we are done. Oh, we have these 3 guys down here. So since we've put the thing in column mode like this, if I select here and say add element, go to empty div, the div will come down here quite well. If I remove its width, it will go all the way, which is what I want. The height, I want it maybe like 20 pixels, very tiny. Then inside it, I will add another empty div, which is this one. Select it, change the background color to white. The height, give it a 20 pixel, width 20 pixel, border radius 50%. And there it is, it becomes one of those dots. So I'm going to add some margin again, left and right. So 10 left, 10 right. Then I'm going to go edit, duplicate twice, then select its parent, change that display to leverage Flexbox. So block to flex. And then let me remove its padding. And then of course, let's say, let's go back to the display. Let's change the adjustment to center, align, center. Good. Maybe the margin shouldn't just have been here. Maybe I should have put a whole margin of 10. No, that doesn't change anything at all. So I'll put 10 there again as it was. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna remove the background color for this, but I'll select this, all of these actually, shift select, and I'm gonna go to margin, no, border. I want to add a border, 2 pixels, and it should be white. All right, then select these guys, shift select, change the background color to slightly darker color. That way we have that. Then select the parent and remove its background color. That way those guys look like they're floating. Also, if I shift select them, I can change the cursor to something that looks like you can actually click on those guys. So pointer. Yep. Let's do a save one more time. Very nice. So far, so good. Now I just need to go down here and make the down part here for this. So we're going to start with this part here and then move down along. So first of all, let's create one large container. So I'm going to go to empties, background. Okay. Now, if you notice, this background isn't expanding as the content is. So select the main background here with that blue thingy. Let me scroll down. Go to properties. It's got a fixed height. Now, if you can't see the properties panel, somehow maybe you've taken it too far. Oh, I need to select something. Okay, there we go. But in case, you can go to view and reset properties panel to put it back where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go to height, remove the height of that. It didn't do anything, but if since I've selected this, I can say edit, select first child, which is this container in the middle, remove the height of it as well from there. That's when things work well. So select this one in the middle. And what I want to do is put two separate sections here on it. So I'm going to say add grids. This grid that has two sections like that. So there we are. So one section here, one section there. This one should be bigger. So I'm going to give it a flex of 2.2. So there's flex 1 here inside styles. I'm going to say 2.2. That way the ratio is 2.2 times bigger than this one. So as you can see, this one is bigger, smaller. Righty then. So now that we have this, let's create this part here. So to create that, I will add an empty div. Of course, the width, I'm going to let it go 100%. Then inside here, I will add an h1. Let's see here. This one should be a div by itself. But let me go add element, components, h1. So there is our text. But let's add another component, just a div. Let me change its color for visibility. The width, remove that. Inside that, I'm going to add an icon. Also, I will add some text in components. So there it is. And that. So select this main one, remove its height requirement. This one also, remove its height requirement. Select this main one, and of course we're going to use flex box. So display flex, space between. So one goes this way, the other one remains there. That's good. Select this one, do the same thing. Display flex. Align item center. Same with this main one, align item center. What's the text? Trending now. So I'm going to type that. Okay. Select this main thing and let's go to text transform. Select uppercase. I want this to be an arrow, so I'm going to move it down this way. Okay. The text here should say view all. And if I select this one, I can change to an arrow. Which arrow? This arrow in particular. Select this guy, remove its background, go to padding, delete the padding, select this one, delete padding, and delete the background as well. Wait. Okay, so now the colors have all gone rogue. So, no, the color is white, so that's fine. I'll just select the one in the background and remove the color. And then finally select this one in the background, remove the color. I'll select this. Let's change the font size to something bigger. So in 30 there, let's try Tahoma as the font. That wasn't it, so try Impact. Let me just add more letter spacing. Maybe 3. Then I'll go to the left of it and add a border. So this one is border left, which is here. Let me put 10 pixels. I want this background color here, so I'm going to select it from there, copy. Select this again. Let's go back to border. Border left, paste it there. Close. Alright, looks like we have it. Now this has a fixed height, I'm sure. Doesn't look like though. Okay, so that's that. Why is this so huge? Oh, this has margin. So let's go to margin and put a 0. Alright, there we go. But if I select this container and select the parent of it, I can do edit, select parent. Okay, that's the parent. That's not what I want. This one here, I want margin top to be a bit higher, maybe 20 pixels. Now it's not moving the other side, so this is the wrong one. I'll remove all margin adjustments. I want to select its parent, so select parent, which is the whole thing, then margin top, maybe 10 pixels will do just fine. Okay, this side as well, delete the background. Select this whole div, edit, copy, go here, edit, paste. So instead of trending now, this one will be top views. Then let's reduce the font size to maybe 20. That one looks thicker. Maybe let's try to, I'll leave it at 3. Okay. Wait, what's different here? I think this internal one here should have a padding of some kind, but I'll leave it for now. So now that I have this box in there, the parent of theirs should have an empty div. Remove all width, remove all height. Let me adjust that color and add another empty div. This is going to be the actual thingy here. So I'm going to say 250 width, maybe a height of 350. Maybe something like that. This one I'm gonna delete its background color. Let's save. Alright, so what really remains is this guy here, and because most of these are copies of this, once we're done with one of these, that'll be great. Let's put the footer while we're at it here so that we do the easy stuff before we get exhausted. So right at the end, the very end here, I'm going to add an empty div. Remove its height requirement, go to the width, remove that as well. background color very black, color white. I'm gonna add some tags here. Let's see, component h1, add again a div text. So that's the text there. I'm just gonna say anime. Down here I will say all rights reserved. And I need to give credit to the photo company again. Duplicate images from freepik.com. Okay, then I'll select the whole footer. Go to display flex and change row column, justify center, align center. So everything is in the center here. This one I want that red color, so I'm going to select that, copy it, go here, put that as the colored text. All right, so let's save. That's our footer done. So let's concentrate on these here. This looks font style normal. Does it change anything? Nope, it does not. Let me try maybe 18. It doesn't look like it changes much, so back to 20. Maybe Tahoma. No, impact is the one. All right, so now let's make this guy here, which is this one. So we have our image. What I'm gonna do first is add, let me change the color of this so we are not confused. I'll put it at white. Add a new empty. Remove its width. Let me click it down on height. Maybe let's try 250 as the height, and inside there I will add an image. All right, that looks good so far. But there's text on top of the image, so in order to have this happen, I need to put another div on the top here that will contain these divs in there. But that's fine. Let's make this bottom part first, and this one. So to make those, I will add an h1 tag. Let me make sure the color for this is black. And then I will add another div. Let's just remove the width. Inside that, I will add an icon. And I will also add text. Then, of course, let's go to padding. Let's remove that. Let's go to display, flex, stretch center. Select that icon. Let's look for a tag. There we go. Let me select type action comedy. I don't know if comedy is, no, don't double M. Okay. Now on the width, let's just change, oh, the display is flex, right? Yeah, that's weird now. Okay, for the width I can just click and drag it. Not really a big deal. Let me go to border radius. Let's try 20 pixels. Make sure it's on pixels by clicking that again. padding was removed. That's great. Let me move this whole thing up, move up. Let me give it a margin top of 5 pixels, same as margin bottom 5 pixels. This guy here should be our title. So the last mountain ninja. So you can type whatever you want there, but the color for this whole thing should be white, and then remove the background color. Okay, here we go. Looking good. Now I'm going to select this one. First, let me select the image width. Let's make that 100%. And probably the height as well. Percent. All right, we're getting there. Let me save. Great. Now within this container that contains the image, I want to add another div. So empty div, and there it is. Now because this does not expand, so that's why it's looking like this, but I'll select it. And let's go to width. Here I have to mention that I have to put it at 100%, even the height as well, same thing. So that's 100% of the container, but I want its position to be absolute, so that it covers the top of the image instead. But before I do that, let me change its background color to white, something else. That way I can still see these guys. Then I want to put some content in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this guy here. So select this, edit, select the parent, so it selects the whole thing. And then I'm going to do edit copy element. Then while I select this, I will add another empty div. Then select that. Go to width, remove that, so it's all the way. Go to height, remove that, so it's like that. For the sake of viewing it, I'll put a different color like this. Then say edit, paste. So I've put an element in there, and then now I want it to come down here, so select its parent, so change display flex, but let's change from row to column, and then justify flex end, that way it comes down here. Then I want to select this. This one should be like views, so just put a number like 120. The width of this should not be an issue, so I will remove that width thingy. Select this icon, actually, let me change that to reflect what I want to do here. This is maybe comments, so I'll search for a chat thingy, chat bubble with maybe something like this, yeah. And what else? Select it again. How does this look? All right. So I need some padding a little bit. So I'm gonna go to padding here. Maybe add 10. No. What's going on? 5. Okay, let me remove that first of all. Doesn't look like it's working out. I'll select something else. Okay. Okay, maybe it's the photo of the thingy here. So while that is selected, I'll do edit, duplicate. So there are 2 of those. But select this yellow one. And I'm gonna do flex as well on that. So much flexing. That's better. But put the space in between, like so, space between. This one is for views, so I'll select this other icon. Look for the eye. Let me put some more text there like so. Okay, select this one, remove the padding it has, remove its background color, and you have this. Now these may be too big, so let's change the font size of those icons to 20. Select that one as well to 20. Okay, then I think what I really need for the parents of these icons, so oops. If I select this icon here, let me make sure the width and height, okay. Why is there even a width and height for this? I should remove that. Let me select its parent. So edit, select parent, which is that container. I want to add padding on the left and right, maybe 10 and 10 on that side. Or maybe 5, 5, maybe that's too much, 5, 5. Same thing on this one, select that, select the parent, padding 5 and 5. Now on this one, I think the border radius, make sure the 20 is pixels, not percent. All right. Okay, then I can now select this. I want it on top of this one. So first of all, select this top one and change its position to relative. Now the reason we do that is so that when we change the internal one to absolute, it doesn't fly off because its absolute position is relative to the relative container there. So select this one, change that to absolute, and then change the left to 0 and the top to 0. That way it covers right on the image. Then now I can just remove its background color like so. Then these guys remain here, but the one that's in containing this still has some padding. So I'm just gonna say select, edit, select parent, and that's the one with that background color. So let's change it to white. Then let's remove padding. But I want to select the image, and that's the first child of that element. So do select first child. You know it's the image because if you drag this, you see IMG over there. So now, in fact, if you go to the image section, you see the image there. So now we can add a different image. Let me see what's there so that I don't start looking for images. I'll select that one, and there we go. So quite the runaround to go through, but we are here finally. So this also, the main container, I'll go to height and just remove the max height there. So it's free to move around. Go to margin and give it a 10 pixel margin like that. So of course you can change, make as many changes as you want. Stay on page. Let's save. Looks like it wants to run away. So I'm going to go edit, duplicate a few times. Duplicate, duplicate. Okay, then I'll select this thing here, display flex, so they can occupy the same space over here. And then I'm going to go to the wrap. So you see here, because they're not allowed to wrap around, they're squeezing each other. So I'm going to go to wrap, no wrap, and get back to wrap around. And then justify center like this. This align items should be flex start. Okay, now I want 3 of those in one section here. It looks like the gap between the 2 is too big. This is one thing I forgot. If I select this main container on each one of them, it has some padding. So if I remove that, it gives us more space. Then I select this one. So I should have done that before duplicating. Making duplicates, but since I've already made them, it's okay. I can just boom. Oh, we have these down here as well. Select, remove, select, remove. But they're still not occupying the space I want. So select this one and remove its padding as well to give more space. And there we go. We have fitting content, right? Very, very cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Now I can go ahead and you can type different content, put different images. So to change the image, I'll select this one, but then go select its parent and then select the first child. Then you see it says image there, which means we can now change the image. So just add a few different samples. Same thing, select the parent, select the first child. So I'll just add a bunch of random images, select parent, select first child. There we go. Select parent, select first child. Again. Let's see here what we got. I'll put that one there. Okay. Looking great. No? Yes. So file, save. Now in order to there's this, right? Does this have padding as well? Let me check that out. No, it does not. Okay, so that, first of all, I can duplicate this. If I select that, I say edit duplicate, which means it went to the bottom here. Then I can change it to something else. And then again, so you see that when it went down like this, the internal thing did not expand, this one here. So I'm going to go to height, make sure there is no height for it. Edit, select its parent. The parent is that. There's a min height, which is okay. But let's select its parent again. So select parent. That doesn't have a height limit either. So let's keep going. Select parent until we find one that does this one right here. So let's remove that and everything is in order. Then I'll select this, the one that contains all these movies, and duplicate it as well. Okay. Now instead of trending, here I'm gonna write popular shows. Like that. So that's different. That's a different thingy. Very good. So let me save this. Let's do a preview. And there we go. So this is what we've got, right? So now we can just grab these guys, put them here, and make copies. No big deal, right? So it's going to be the easy part. So since I already have this one here, I just need this one that contains these guys. So I'm just going to do edit copy, select this, edit, paste. So since it's responsive, it's already done its thing here. But I want to adjust this to look more like this, right? So this isn't, this is not rocket science. Okay, what I would do is select the main thing. I'll select the container of this. So I'm gonna go edit, select parent until I select the main container. And go ahead on width. I will remove the width limit. So it goes 100%, okay, great. But then there's this container here that contains these two guys. I just want to add these two to it. So I'll select this one. Where is the content? Let's go edit, select parent. Okay, so that's it then. I'll select it again. Go edit, select parent, and cut element. Select this guy. Edit, paste element. Get the show name as well. cut element, select that one, paste element. Okay, so there we have it. Simple as that. So that one looks slightly bigger, but I think it's because this internal thing here has padding. So let me go, no, I guess no padding there. Maybe the internal one has margin. So let's remove that margin. Let's just put it on the top and bottom. Let's say 10 and 10. Okay, that's wrong. That's for the other thing. Let me keep selecting the parent. Well, I'll select this container and say select first child. That will select that. I'm looking for where it has margin. Remove its margin. Just put it on the top and the bottom, so they leave space between each other, amongst or between each other. The internal one, this, if I select that, I can add some padding there to make sure they don't go to the wall. So there we go. It's much better. So the rest of these I do not need. So select that, delete. Select that, delete. So make sure when you're selecting it, selecting the whole thing, delete. Select that, delete. And finally that, delete. This one, boom. Now when I select like this, I'm selecting the outer shell. So the best way is to select this and then do select, edit, select, no, there's a container that contains these guys, right? Slide there, yes. Select first child, and then edit, duplicate. Again, I've pressed that twice to make 3 copies. I think that's enough. Very nice. Then I will select this instead. Edit, duplicate. Then change that to top comments. Then down here, I want another version of this. So if I select this, it selects the whole internal, all these selected here, all 3 here. So I'm just gonna copy element. Actually, I don't need to copy. I can just say edit, duplicate, and it comes down here. Let's do a save real quick. So after top comment, I want to change the structure of this. Now I can do that by just selecting this main thing. Edit, select the parent, then select the first child. That way we select the image. Then go to properties. It says IMG right there. I'm going to go to the width and limit it to 100 pixels instead of percent. So is that, doesn't look very in, that's the image, right? It does say IMG. Okay, let me just limit it still to 100%. Then I will select the div on top like this. And what do I do? Let me go select the parent of that. Edit, select parent. Now I've selected the div that contains the image and this div with text. Now I want to just change the display, the flex version. This has a column flex version. I want it to go back to row flex, right? It's not even flexing, so I'll go display flex and row, right? Or just remove that. Why isn't it doing its thing? Something is wrong here. Okay, so let me select that. Well, let me select this and say edit. Select first child. Why has that collapsed? I do not understand. Let me go to width. Let me make sure it's 100%. Oh, okay. There we go. But why has it left a white space here? This one, oh, I needed to change that thing. I see what the problem is. Sorry about the weird move around. So let me go back, select this main thing, edit, select first child. That's the container. If I go to properties, it collapsed, I guess. Let me go remove that. But I want to select this main one that contains the div that contains the text and change it. I forgot that it has a position of absolute. So let me remove that and then it expands properly. Okay. Then I can remove the relative thing for this one as well. So edit, select parent again, remove that position relative. Oh no, not select parent, select first child. That way I can, oh, so the position is static already. Okay, great. So with this, what color should I use here? Gray? Let's try that. Some kind of gray. Dark gray, something like so. Alright. This image now, we can click directly. If I go to the width, maybe we can put 150 instead. Something like that. If I select this, I need a flex of 1 here. So that it takes up all the available remaining space. So flex, let me just select 1. Didn't seem to change anything. Anyway, so you can do all the edits you want until it satisfies your curiosity. Select parent, select parent. Okay, I went too far. So I know I have to move twice. Select parent, and then delete. Delete. Again, select this one. Select parent, and delete. Okay, so I have this one now. And the height though, how is the height? If I select this and say edit, select first child. Okay, it's this one actually. Edit, select first child. Ah, right. Select parent. Ooh. So there's something in between there. Let's go to padding here. Sensing some padding, it's not there. It's the margin of this internal one. So first child. Let's go to margin. Okay, so there's margin top and bottom. Okay, so that's fine. So while that is selected, I can now duplicate it again. So edit, duplicate, duplicate. And there we go. Now, of course, you can now change the images as you wish. Let's do that real quick. Let's see, what images did I get here? All right, let's start from the top here. Select this one. Select parent, select first child. Properties, it says image, great. Click, click. Let's find some content. I don't even know. You can put whatever you want here. Oh, what's happening? Look at that. So if the image is not good enough in terms of width, then we have a problem, right? Did not know that. Huh. Okay, so to fix that, we should make sure the width of the container is 100%. So I'm going to select this part that holds all of them, and go edit, select first child, which is that, and go to the width. Make sure it says 100%. Then I can go again, select, while that is selected, select next sibling, which is that one. Let's make sure it says 100%. Ish. Okay, then again, edit, select next sibling, and put that 100% there. Okay, that way it doesn't matter the image. So select this again, go edit, select parent, then select first child, which is the image, change it. Really doesn't matter. So all I'm doing now is changing images and that's it. But you can do that in your own time with the template that you've created. So if I do a save now, let's go to a preview finally. There we go. So this is the final thing. Okay. Now some of these, for example, the text is too big, so I need to change that actually. I don't know why the text ends up being too big. So you can just put very fixed font size of 13 pixels in those. So just go around and you can actually shift select all of them like so and do it in one go. Okay, let's do that. Shift, 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 13. Same thing here, shift, shift, shift. Same thing here, shift, 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 13 pixel. Let's do a preview. That's way better. Okay. All right, seems alrighty now. Now I don't like these lines here, that's why I didn't put them in the original one. So it's up to you, you can make adjustments as you please. That's entirely up to you. All right, so this is how I created that, and because of Flexbox, mostly the stuff is kind of responsive, but you can go in and do more responsive work using what do you call query? What are these media queries to make it even more responsive? But already, just by doing this, we already have something responsive. Kinda. Yeah. Alrighty then. So hopefully you have learned something, and I'll see you in another tutorial.